Well, Michael, it ended 3-0 in the end. How do you reflect on today's workout?
Yeah, I was happy. I was delighted at times. I thought in the first half we created, countless opportunities and made the goalkeeper work, and had a lot of box entries in that first half. And they were different situations as well. They were from a little bit of build-up play, slow build-up play at times, recognising when to quick it up. But then there was a lot of it on transition as well, when we'd actually defended quite well and looked to squeeze and stop and stop them playing through us. So first half felt very comfortable, very happy with it. Obviously lots of changes in the second half. It was a bit mixed in that sort of first 20 minutes or so, but then towards the end of the game we come stronger again into the game and got a couple of very good goals.
Yeah, 3 quality goals, wasn't there, really, when you reflect on all 3 of them?
Yeah, absolutely. 3 really good goals, and ironically, some of the chances that we missed were a lot simpler. Yeah, listen, clean sheet, 3 out of 4 clean sheets. I know it's pre-season, but they're getting into some good habits, and that is what pre-season's all about, getting into your habits and making sure that you get the bits of detail that people probably don't see on the eye, your recovery runs, your selfish runs, all them type of things. So we had a lot of that today.
Nice goals from John Marquis and George Nurse, and then a special moment for Max Matter, who, as we know, he was away on loan back in New Zealand last season. He's come back. This is the first time we've seen him in pre-season. Comes off the bench, looks lively, and tops it off with a nicely taken goal. Yeah,
it was a great finish, to be fair. Good pass from Joe as well. That was an example of running away from the ball, prepared to run away from the ball. Took his goal really well. He's had a little bit of mixed pre-season in terms of he's had a couple of knocks and a couple of injuries that have set him back a little bit, but I'm glad he got 25-30 minutes today, because obviously we can build now on his minutes in the last 2 games.
And it means all of you forwards have now scored in pre-season. That's got to be a positive.
It is a positive, and it's great for them. I hear a lot about who's going to get us goals, who's going to score goals. The goals have to come from all areas of the pitch. Hopefully we'll have a strong season when it comes to set plays and stuff. So the quota from our defenders this year, they expect to be better. I think you look at the wing back areas. One thing that we certainly can improve on from today's game is getting in at that far post. There was too many times where the ball went across the face of the goal and across the 6-yard box. So there's goals there for players as well. So we've seen there 2 or 3 times towards the end of the game, midfield players taking pot shots from the edge of the box. So we do need goals from all areas of the pitch. But like you said, it's just nice to see that the strikers have all scored.
Has everyone come through okay? Will Boyle did take a knock just before half-time. Was it always the way he was going to play first half? Is he okay?
No, I mean, he was going to play a little bit longer, but he rolled his ankle a little bit towards the end, and I didn't want any heroics. There's still a couple of weeks before the season starts. It becomes important, so it was more precautionary more than anything. I'm sure he'll be fine for Tuesday.
We spoke about some of the players who have been out injured on Tuesday after the Telford game. No Sam Stubbs involved today. What's the story there?
Yeah, Stubbsy just was to protect him a little bit. He needed a bit of offload for a couple of days. With a bit of luck, you'll probably see him on Tuesday at some point. Tom Sang's got a little bit of an issue with his calf again, where there's no point risking it at this moment. Sangi especially, he's one of the real fit ones in the group. He's one of the fittest, bags of energy, loads of running in. So if he does miss 5 or 6 days of training, whatever it may be, it's not going to affect him as much as some of the other players in the team. So just keeping the risks down to an absolute minimum at the minute, and then obviously come 2nd of August, that's where people have to put the body on the line.
Today, of course, the first home pre-season friendly, first chance for us all to look at the pitch as well. The dimensions of it seem to have changed. It seems narrower and perhaps not as long. Is that the case, and what's the story behind all that?
Well, you'd have to be a rocket scientist to recognise it and see it. But no, yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you've got to think of different ways of giving yourself the best chance to win games of football. And, it's something I've done with previous teams in the past, and we've been successful. All we're saying is that we back ourselves with the ball as much as anybody in the division, and all I'm trying to do is make sure that when we're out of possession, again, we give ourselves the best chance to win. And if we want to stop crosses, we want to stop balls into our box, that's what we're doing. We're giving ourselves the best chance to do it.
Of course, it wouldn't be a pre-season interview without asking you if there's anything happening in terms of transfers, additions. You're getting closer?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that unless something drastically happens, there'll be a new facing on Monday. And then, yeah, whether we get another one in before the Birmingham game, hopeful. I'm hopeful more than anything. But yeah, come Monday, I'm fully expecting to have a new face in the building.
Pre-season is flying by, isn't it? 2 weeks today.
Yeah.
To it all begins, League Two. Do you feel you're on course? You're happy?
Yeah, I think we've got to be happy. The boys seem to be improving all the time, seem to be getting fitter. Obviously, just want to make sure that, you know, from an injury point of view, an injury prevention point of view, we try and keep as many bodies fit and available for the 2nd of August, and that's the plan now over the next 2 weeks. We need to deal with the 2 games that we've got in hand and get a mixture of minutes on the belt to the players, but at the same time, I keep mentioning it, you know, my focus is very much probably on the 2nd of August, and you know, I have to keep telling myself to work my way back to where we are right now and make sure they're prepared for that day.
Thanks for your time, Michael.
Cheers, Ted.